Many thanks for joining us again. President Muhammadu Buhari has joined world leaders in expressing grief over the death of Brazilian soccer legend Edson Arantes do Nascimento, known as Pele, who died at the age of 82. The world's greatest ever football player succumbed to death after suffering a debilitating bout of cancer. He won 3 World Cups and scored over 1,281 goals, becoming the original football icon in a long career for which he was named the Player of the Century in the year 2000. Buhari, in a tribute to the football legend on behalf of Nigerians, said Pele lived a good life and made a huge contribution to the development of global football in particular and world sport in general. The president said he had an enormous generosity of spirit and humility in spite of his greatness as a footballer and sportsman. The federal government said it has not considered imposing mandatory COVID-19 testing or restrictions on travelers from China until there is a need for it. The government, however, admitted that Nigeria was at risk of a fresh surge of the virus. It therefore advised Nigerians to go for vaccination. The coordinator of the Presidential Steering Committee on COVID-19, Dr. Mukhtar Mohammed, disclosed this in Abuja. But virologists warned there could be a fresh outbreak of the virus in the country. The Kogi State government has vowed to unravel the perpetrators of Thursday's Okene explosion in order to put an end to such a heinous act in the state. The security advisor to Kogi State government, retired Commodore Jerry Omodara, made the statement in an interview. According to him, no government official attributed the incident to a transformer explosion, saying police bomb experts have taken samples from the venue of the explosion for tests in order to ascertain the type of explosion that blew off on Thursday in Okene shortly before President Buhari commissioned some projects in the state. He said the government had an intelligence report on the Okene explosion, which explains why they had enough deployment of security personnel across the state to be able to frustrate their efforts. The explosion, which occurred around 9 a.m. close to the Ohinoi of Ibiraland Palace, resulted in the death of 3 persons and blew down the fence of the palace. The Lagos State Attorney General Moyosuri Onigbanjo SAN on Friday filed a 1-count charge against ASP Rambi Vandi for the murder of Bolanle Rahim. Vandi appeared before the Chief Magistrate Court, Yaba, a day after the Police Service Commission approved his suspension over the killing of Mrs. Rahim. The charge obtained read, quote, that you, ASP Rambi Vandi, on the 25th day of December 2022 at Ajah Road along Lekki Expressway, Lagos, unlawfully killed one Omobolanle Rahim by shooting the deceased in the chest, contrary to Section 223 of the Criminal Law of Lagos State, 2015. With the charge, the Attorney General, who appeared before the Chief Magistrate Court, Yaba, applied for the remand of the defendant pursuant to Section 264 of the Administration of Criminal Justice Law of Lagos, 2015. And as the demand for justice for the slain pregnant lawyer Bolanle Rahim heightens, the court has remanded the suspected killer cop, ASP Ramdi Vandi, and the Ikoyi Correctional Center, Lagos State, till January 30, 2023. The spokesperson for the Lagos State Police Command, Benjamin Hundeyi, made this known in a tweet on Friday, stating that the decision was taken after Vandi was arraigned for pulling the trigger that claimed Rahim's life on Christmas Day in the Ajah area of Lagos State. Hundeyi added that the order was to give room for the advice of the Directorate of Public Prosecutions. This comes a day after Police Service Commission approved Vandi's immediate suspension. The Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, on Thursday said there would be no cover-up in the investigation and prosecution of the culprit. On the African scene, an arrest warrant was issued in Botswana for former President Ian Khama for the possession of illegal firearms on Thursday. The judge issued orders that Kama should be arrested on site. The arrest warrant follows Kama's failure to appear in court earlier this year. He faced 14 charges, including allegations of money laundering and handling stolen property. The warrant issued only regards the possession of 5 illegal firearms. Under Botswana law, illegal possession of guns could lead to a maximum penalty of 10 years in prison. In the past, Ian Kama, the son of Botswana's first president, told local media house Maggie that he would welcome an extradition request since it would give him the chance to expose what he called lies and fabrications by current president Mogwetsi Masisi. To the foreign scene now, where the pro-Myanmar leader Aung San Suu Kyi was convicted of 5 counts of corruption on Friday and jailed for 7 more years, wrapping a marathon of trials condemned internationally as a sham. In a closed-door court session in army-ruled Myanmar, Suu Kyi, who was 77, was arrested during the coup in February 2021 and was found guilty of offenses relating to her lease and use of a helicopter while she was the country's de facto leader. The jail term adds to 26 years of prison time already handed down to Suu Kyi for offenses ranging from incitement, breaches of COVID-19 restrictions, and illegally owning radio equipment to violating a state secret law, multiple counts of corruption, and trying to influence election officials. She has dismissed those as absurd. A Nobel Peace Prize winner for her decades-long campaign for democracy in Myanmar, the popular Oxford educator Suu Kyi has spent much of her political life detained under military government. She led Myanmar for 5 years from 2015 during the decade of tentative democracy that came after the military ended its 49-year rule.